Hi, and welcome to this beginner's guide to compact flash and secure digital hard drives. This guide is aimed at A600, A1200 and A4000 users, as those machines all have IDE ports as standard. This information also applies to the CD32 if an expansion such as the TF328 or SX32 has been added to the system. The first thing you have to decide on is whether you want to use compact flash or secure digital cards in your system. Using compact flash cards is the easiest and cheapest method. You will require a compact flash to IDE adapter. Buy an adapter marked VH2 as they work the Amiga LED correctly, and make sure it has a jumper cap on the pins, as the Amiga will not detect the adapter unless either master or slave is shorted out. The Amiga 600 and 1200 both have 44 pin IDE headers, so those need 44 pin adapters. The A4000 has a 40 pin IDE header, so get a 40 pin adapter if using one of those. When it comes to using SD cards, I have only used this adapter. It functions well but does not work the LED correctly. Another option is to use an SD to CF converter with a compact flash adapter. These converters can also be used with a PCM CIA slot card reader, but I won't be covering that in this video. With modern file systems and fixed drivers, you can use almost any capacity card you want. All of the cards you can see here work in my A1200 and A4000, but I have only tested up to 4GB cards in my A600. Whichever adapter type you choose, you also need an IDE cable to connect it to the Amiga. A 3 to 5cm cable is long enough for the A600 and A1200, but if it's for an A4000 then I would suggest a longer cable so it's easier to install and then position inside the case. Ensure you have suitable card readers which will enable you to use WinUAE to transfer software to your Amiga. Remove the top of the case and then move the keyboard out of the way so you can access the IDE port. The red stripe on the cable must be connected to pin 1 on the IDE port, which is clearly indicated on the board. Take care to make sure the cable is correctly lined up over both rows of pins before firmly pressing it down all the way. Now you are ready to insert a card and begin using your drive. When using an A1200, you can relocate the IDE adapter to the rear of the case, giving you quick access to your cards. To do this, you will need a 50cm long IDE cable and a 3D print backplate to hold the CF adapter in place. Secure the adapter to the backplate and connect the IDE cable, then install it in place of the existing panel. Now place the cable under the disk drive and connect the IDE cable to the mainboard, then carefully reassemble the case. We can now access the card slot at the rear of the case. That's all for this quick video. Thanks for watching.